Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator, and in this video, we're going to talk about this guy, or the White House that this guy is allegedly in charge of. Yeah, we're all not so sure about that, but they talk a big green game. They care, they care, they care, but this man's past stun in the White House, I can assure you. They refused a light years best environmental education and agenda the world needs since Barack's first presidential campaign. Okay. And the Barack White House did not treat me kindly. They are so adamantly opposed to solutions. Um, like Cheryl Atkinson, my computer used to get turned on in the middle of the night, and at a conference summit of like 2,000 people. Stephen Chu, Barack's Secretary of Energy, spoke. And in the question and answer session, when I was about to say, Stephen, I send you the Grand Slam you just said the world needs, I was escorted out before I could, right when I was to get handed the microphone. I was whisked away and taken into a back room and held by Max Baucus, public servant. Max Baucus, congressman from Montana. He was the one hosting the event. His top security, Jake Macaw, and a uniformed policeman, and this man who told me that he was, the head of the local police, but there was really no doubt he was Stephen Chu's top security. And I was held there until Stephen Chu left the stage, so I couldn't say, Stephen, I send you the Grand Slam the world needs. And this was 24 hours after Steve Ballmer, Microsoft CEO, had the same audience of 2,000 people applaud me in his question and answer session. Have you ever seen somebody on the stage say applaud that person who just asked them a question? Steve Ballmer did that to me. And it's on like 10, 12 recorded professional cameras. There was news they were covering it. They had their own little section. I mean, this is undeniable. And 24 hours later, that's what Barack's White House did to me. And then Stephen Chu's office let me know that if I bothered them with solutions, I think I could send one email a week. I couldn't call, I couldn't leave a message, or I would be prosecuted to the fullest extent of federal law. And Barack never his campaign never replied. I called the White House. I literally, like, when he got inaugurated, was like, hey, no, see, but the thing is, I have to get past Barack's, stone walls that keep you from getting to him, because I have the solutions the world needs. And yeah, that doesn't go over. You call the White House and say you want to talk to the president. Go ahead, do it. Okay. But I did. And I can assure you, there is nobody anywhere near this White House. I didn't even bother Biden on the campaign trail. And Kamala, Comala, communist Allah, Kamala, and Pete, I mean, I emailed their campaigns. I emailed a bunch of campaigns of people that are, on the trail, but none of them stood a chance. And yeah, they didn't have a chance. They just do what communists did and took it. So here we are. We have these people in the White House who are proclaiming, oh my God, they care, they care. Oh my God, we are just right. And they care so much that on his first day in office, on the first day in Biden's presidency, right, Biden's occupation of the White House, but he's getting strings pulled, he issued an executive order canceling the Keystone XL pipeline. Yeah, making good on his promise to climate activists who helped get him elected. Right, but then now he got inaugurated on right here, January 20th, 2021. And this article right here is a March 18th, 2021 article. So just less than 2 months later, 20 Republican-led states sued him for canceling the pipeline. And is it about the environment? Because you know what? The environmental education and agenda being implemented right now would achieve light years more good than just thinking that you're going to cut down a pipeline because, yeah, you're going to bring in clean energy. hmm See, just, if we just ended all of the processes that it takes to endlessly manufacture to dispose of, right there. You know how much less oil we'd be using? You know how much less greenhouse gases we'd be emitting? You know how many less oil changes? You know how many less tires we'd be making? You know how many less cars on the road? I mean, it's just a whole huge snowball effect down. You know how much less electricity at every single one of these plants that makes these products, and every single one of the plants that makes the packaging and the transportation packaging and the plastic bags and their packaging. And then, of course, all the transportation and manufacturing processes that it takes to make all of your disposables just voila, magically disappear. Okay? And if we eliminated that, we would have already solved this problem, especially had Gore or anyone allowed these solutions since 93. Have you ever heard them to ask anybody, to gain individual cooperation? Simply turning off 40% of unused electricity would, make a huge impact and could reduce greenhouse gas emissions and many other pollutants and much use of fossil fuels and processes and definitely hemp can be used for anything oil is and it can do everything. I don't know of anything that can't be done with hemp as a base. um and we should be the leader of that. So they refuse to do this, and then they talk a big game. But, right here, this is Natural News, February 25th, 2022. Among the Dems' push to turn the country green, they have created an unreliable U.S. power grid, now on the verge of collapse. oh, that's good. See, but that's their intention. They don't care about the environment. They want to control you. They want to control your energy. And the grid is breaking down. Our grid is so old. And these transformers, transponders, like the big pieces of, equipment. I mean, right now, without any critical, things that destroy huge swatches of energy systems, just the standard timeline to get one is 2 years. So if those transformers, transponders, the big piece of necessary equipment goes out, it's years before it gets replaced. And imagine if that happens on a big scale. Okay. And we're taking out of the equation, things that produce our energy and our mode of travel from cheap, reliable, plentiful fossil fuels and all electric. They're not making any gain environmentally. The all electric emits the same greenhouse gases, pollutants as burning gas does. They don't have a clean electric grid. And when are they going to have one? I don't know. Ski areas. Oh, we're like 100% fossil fuel powered. Well, what does that mean, ski areas? You create your own, I mean, clean energy fueled. But you create your own clean energy, or what you do is you pay a premium so that you can say that the clean energy that comes into the grid you bought. I'm not exactly sure how they get to claim that, but they like claiming it, but I'm pretty sure they're not the ones out there producing it. I remember Chris Ryman, the guy at Vail, it was associates at the time, who gave me a free ski pass to lead the world, and we were going to get working. But he literally practically fell over backwards in his chair when he was like, "Oh, so what happens on a cloudy day?" I'm like, But the National Renewable Energy Lab gives me a tour of the place because I say I think I can get Vail to work with them, and Chris has fallen over backwards in his chair. Would he even start a relationship? No. So are they producing it themselves? No. So this clean energy is a very limited amount of the actual power grid, electric power grid, and the ski companies say they're all green. So does that leave green for anybody else is kind of my point. But considering that the population's environmentally illiterate, they don't know this. And so, the power grid has become far less dependable, even at risk of collapse in parts of the country, and it's likely to get worse before it gets better. There's been a lot of widespread power outages, and they're lasting longer and longer. In 2000, there were less than 24 major outages, but that increased to more than 180 in 2020. So the more we just keep reducing our ability to provide for ourselves, and so we're going to take us off of gas because we're all going to be clean cars. We're just so what did Biden do? Instead of having us produce the gas that we're using, we're not using any less gas. Oh, what did Biden do? Oh, that's right. He waived sanctions on the Russian gas pipeline. So he shut down the American pipeline, and he said, "Oh, hey, Russia, and what are we paying Russia right here?" This is news. This is today or yesterday, March 1st, 2022, and $70 million a day. That's what this man that allegedly is in the White House, that is not running the White House, is we all know who's behind the strings, but that's what this occupation of the White House just did to America. $70 million a day to Russia while he cuts off Americans' cheap oil, raising the prices while the prices of everything are going through the roof, and Americans already can't even afford their lives. They live on credit and they're so overextended. It's right. But that's how you collapse America, right? I mean, there's like what 6, 7 key things to collapse America: the Constitution, the economy, the demographics, the family structure, the culture. There's a couple more that I'm missing, but those are the big ones right there. Bam, your country's gone. And you know what? This country runs on gas. Okay, America runs on Dunkin', Canada runs on Tim Hortons, and America runs on gas. And we run on fossil fuels. And we're supposed to be a strong country. You are energy independent. You don't rely upon people that are your enemies and now you're going to war with. So as we've cut off our pipeline, now we're paying $70 million a day. And how long do you think Putin's gonna keep giving us oil when America's taking a bigger stance against them? Yeah, okay. Okay. So are these people really interested in doing environmental good? No. No, absolutely not. They don't care. That is the last thing that they care about. They care about using the environment as a weapon, right? To scare you, to make you believe that we have to take all these actions, while they are just absolutely refusing things that are simple, logical, comprehensible, easily implementable, will benefit everybody, will benefit household budgets, and they have prevented that since November '93 and since Barack's first White House occupation, and the Democrats from before that, and you don't see anybody else stepping up to the plate. Nobody in Congress, the United Nations, Trudeau, Arden, the island president. I could knock on every single door. I don't have the time. but they all won't allow solutions. And this is what just is simple and can't be argued against, and someday will happen. And in the meantime, we're losing all this ground. And you know what? It's not just greenhouse gases, it's all the pollutants, it's all the toxins, it's all the processes, it's all the use of water. Water, we're fighting over water now, people. We are at the point where water is such a commodity, we're fighting over it, yet we abuse it and use it in so many processes to just make things to throw them away. Okay. So, but the point is that this White House could have set us on a really good path long ago, and we wouldn't be talking about the environment now. But instead, what they've done is they have really put the United States in the position that it is their absolute clear intention, clear desire, clear goal to have America in, which is on the verge of collapse, and not just the electric grid, and not just our power structure and everything. So they're not any better to the environment than they are to America. So I just wanted to set the record straight, because you're not going to hear that anywhere else, and it's absolutely true. So stay tuned, people.